Hi, I'm Alex. Before we dive into today's topic, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode exploring the fascinating world of wealth and influence. Can billionaires truly buy democracy? This question has echoed through the halls of power and across the media landscape for decades, becoming increasingly pertinent as the wealth gap widens. Over the past 50 years, the United States has witnessed a staggering rise in income inequality, which has significantly altered the political landscape. According to a report from the Brookings Institution, this dynamic has intensified, with the ultra-rich not only accumulating wealth but also leveraging it to reshape the political fabric to their advantage, thereby raising alarms about the very essence of democracy. In the 2024 election cycle alone, U.S. billionaires poured an unprecedented $1 billion into political campaigns, predominantly favoring Republican candidates. This represents a significant escalation in political spending, reflecting an alarming concentration of power among the ultra-wealthy. Notably, the wealthiest 100 individuals accounted for 7.5% of federal election spending, a staggering increase from just 0.25% in 2000. This dramatic shift underscores the growing concern that the voices of ordinary citizens are increasingly drowned out by the financial might of a select few, raising questions about the integrity and fairness of the electoral process. The mechanisms through which billionaires exert their influence are complex and multifaceted. A landmark Supreme Court decision in 2010, known as Citizens United, paved the way for the emergence of super PACs, enabling the wealthiest Americans to contribute unlimited sums to political campaigns. This has created an environment where the political arena is dominated by those with deep pockets, allowing money to speak louder than votes. Political scientist Jeffrey Winters has pointed out that there is a growing awareness among voters regarding the role of wealth in politics, indicating a significant shift in public perception about the integrity of the electoral system and the motivations behind political contributions. However, the influence of billionaires is not confined to the United States. A study published in the journal Perspectives on Politics reveals that over 11% of the world's billionaires have sought or held political office, with a marked tendency to pursue influential positions. This trend is particularly pronounced in autocracies, where billionaires enter politics at much higher rates than in democracies. The reasons are clear. In systems where political power is less constrained, wealth can be leveraged more directly into political authority, allowing billionaires to shape governance in ways that serve their interests. This interplay between wealth and political influence does not merely reshape governance, it also significantly affects societal priorities and public policy. According to Oxfam, the growing wealth gap driven by billionaire interests threatens to stall progress on critical issues such as climate change and healthcare. The ultra-rich often prioritize maintaining their status and wealth over addressing the pressing needs of the broader population, leading to policies that reflect their interests rather than those of the average citizen. For instance, in 2022, a report found that the world's 10 richest men doubled their fortunes during the pandemic while millions were pushed into poverty, highlighting the stark disparity in priorities. The implications of this concentration of power are staggering. As billionaires continue to dominate political donations, they shape legislation and influence public opinion in ways that prioritize their agendas. This not only undermines the democratic process, but also fosters a sense of disillusionment among voters who feel that their voices are being overshadowed by the financial clout of the wealthy elite. The public trust in the electoral system diminishes, creating a rift between the government and the governed, which can have long-lasting effects on civic engagement and participation in the democratic process. Moreover, the growing influence of billionaires raises questions about the integrity of the media landscape. With substantial financial resources at their disposal, the ultra-wealthy can shape narratives and control information dissemination. Media outlets, often reliant on advertising revenue and funding from wealthy patrons, may find themselves in a precarious position where the truth is molded to fit the interests of those who pay the bills. This creates an environment where public discourse can be skewed, further entrenching the power of the rich and limiting the diversity of perspectives available to the public. The societal ramifications of this power dynamic extend beyond politics and media. Wealth concentration leads to social stratification, where opportunities for upward mobility become increasingly out of reach for the average citizen. As billionaires fortify their positions, they create a cycle of inequality that perpetuates their influence. A report from Brookings asserts that this conversion of financial might into political power creates significant challenges for social mobility, effectively locking many individuals out of the corridors of influence and shaping a society where privilege begets privilege. As we look to the future, there is a growing call for campaign finance reform across the political spectrum. Both Republicans and Democrats are facing pressure to address the imbalance of power and reduce the influence of money in politics. Advocates for reform argue that limiting donations and increasing transparency in campaign financing are crucial steps toward restoring public trust in the electoral system. The question remains, will these efforts be enough to reclaim democracy from the clutches of the ultra-rich, or will the financial interests of billionaires continue to dictate the political narrative? The influence of billionaires is not just a political issue, it is a societal one that affects us all. As we navigate this complex landscape, it is essential for citizens to remain vigilant and engaged, holding their elected officials accountable. The future of democracy hinges on our collective ability to challenge the status quo and ensure that power does not rest solely in the hands of a privileged few. The stakes are high, and the time for action is now, as the very principles of democracy and equality hang in the balance. If you found today's exploration of how billionaires buy influence thought-provoking, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world of wealth and power. Join us next time as we uncover more stories that shape our society, and remember that informed citizens are the bedrock of a healthy democracy.